Okay, welcome back if you're not new, and welcome if you're new. It's another drawing video, but I know you've probably read the title, or you haven't. Either way, I think the title is something about me having a professional photo shoot, which is was isn't would Jesus man words, which isn't necessarily wrong, but it wasn't for my art. Some like a few months ago, I was interviewed for a magazine, which is about what the effects of boarding school on kids, because like sending your kids to boarding school is a very normal thing in Denmark, and I was at boarding school, and the headmaster at our boarding school, he got called up by this magazine, and they said, you have to choose one of your former students, preferably, in the past couple of years, to talk about, going to boarding school. And then he called me up and he said, if I want to do it, he thought I should do it. And I was like, yeah, I would like to. I would love to. And so I did that, talked for like 2 hours. She asked me a bunch of questions and I answered the best it could be. And then we had, just that was that. Then I had to get some photos taken in some time, but that finally happened now. So about 3 months later or something, I think. Yeah, which is great. So that happened now, and I was like, he asked me if there's anything, I should just tell him if there's anything I wasn't comfortable with doing or something I like, and I was like, you know what, dude, this is your job and you know best. Like, I know nothing about photography, not really. So I just think like you should, you take the steering wheel, you do whatever you have to do, and I'll do it. Just tell me what I need to do, and I'll do it. That was just my response to him, because, I don't want to sit and micromanage something I don't know anything about. And I don't really have any shame if I think I look stupid, but he thinks it looks good. I'll take his word for it, because I don't really care. Like, I want it to be as best as possible, because he knows what it's supposed to be. So yeah. He was some freelance photographer guy. He was really nice, talked a lot throughout the time, and really nice dude. And now I know if I need a photographer, I can call up this dude. Now he gave me his card, which is pretty nice of him. But yeah, and we took some photos in the studio, just a few, which was pretty great. But I don't know if they'll be used. The lady who's writing the magazine, she'll choose what gets put in the book or the magazine. She could choose what kind of pictures. Yeah. But that wasn't all I did today. Then I had to pick up my friend and drive him to the train station, which was another thing I had to do. I just talked and then to the train station. And then I was driving off from the train station and I just looked to the side. And then I saw, hey, that's someone I know. And on a bench waiting for the bus, my not kindergarten, what's it called? Is it kindergarten? No. It's daycare. My daycare, the woman who had the daycare, her husband was sitting on the bench, and I was like, he's an older guy, he's about like 70 something, 60, 70 something. And I stopped the car and I asked if he wanted a free ride home, because I had to go, through his house to get home. Or not get home, get to school. And then he said yes. So I picked him up and we sat and we talked, and, it was all good. It's a really, really fun and weird to catch up with someone you kind of know, because I don't know him well. But I know him enough, to where it's like, it's nice. And he was very thankful for me driving home. But then we got to his house, outside his house. I stopped and he got out and said, you know, bye bye, and thank you for having me, and all this stuff, and you're welcome, all that. And then he just stood there, kind of. I was like, okay, maybe he's just just looking around. And then I drove off just about 10 meters or something. And then I looked in my back mirror, and he was still standing in the same place. And then he just fell off. Yeah, he just fell. I was like, shit. I just stopped the car, ran over to him, just to make sure he's okay. He was okay. I think he fainted or he got very dizzy. I don't really know, but just like, he's an older person, so him falling is much worse than if I were to fall. Still, yeah, I didn't think he hurt. I didn't think he hurt himself too much. I don't know though, but his wife came out, and me and her, we helped get him inside, and yeah, so he'll probably be fine. But that also meant like my day got kind of like, my time got very skewed, and I had to go to class. But I was like, it was only extracurricular, dyslexic helping classes, so it was nothing important. I was like, I told my teacher, I'm sorry I'm late, but I have a very good reason. And then, I had to talk about my whole day, and she was like, okay, that's a fair reason. It's a very fair reason, which I conclude too. It's a very fair reason. But that's just how things happen, I guess. Like it's not. It's strange. One more thing, I was like, I haven't been able to work out today, which is really, really not nice. I don't like it. But my arms were still sore from when I trained Monday because we went really hard. So I think I'll be alright. I think so. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. I definitely have to work out Friday because I didn't want to do it because then I had to drive. I didn't have my training shit. So I didn't want to drive back, to drive back again because I have to do some stuff later. I have to eat dinner at my work because me and one of my colleagues, we have to do something later, and we need a bunch of sewing machines. So, and it's this thing for like it's a course me and another group on the school are holding. Our group is about the climate, the earth, stuff like that, and climate change and what we can do for the climate and stuff like that. And one of the things you can do is use your things longer, which means to repair your own things. And that's insane. Like that's so nice that we actually get to do stuff like this. So we have like my colleague and I think another woman and maybe some other people who know how to sew, and we have some extra sewing machines so people can learn how to sew, put a patch over a hole or sew something like put a pair of pants up, in the leg so they fit and stuff like that, which is really important because, to be honest, I think more people throw stuff away because it's broken, just a little bit broken, instead of being actually completely broken. There is a point where you can't fix stuff anymore, but still, you should fix stuff as much as possible. Which is like, every time you have the chance to fix something, you should do it. At least that's what I think. Yeah. But that was my pretty interesting photo shoot and pretty interesting day in general. So now I'm home and I don't have any homework. I think I've like what 5 classes tomorrow, and the teacher I have for all 5 classes, he's doing like some kind of course in teaching or something like that, which means he isn't home. So he won't be there. So probably I can do the work from home, which means I probably won't have to go to school tomorrow. But I still do have for the last 3, because we have to write the script for a media class for our movie, which, our exam movie. We still have to write the script and stuff like that. But we should begin filming soon too. We can't wait too long. Yeah. You know, something weird. The way you probably know this by now, but the Pope just died a couple of days ago, which is pretty weird to me. I'm not even a religious person. I'm just, I'm an atheist. I don't really believe in anything, but I have respect for people's religions in some sense of way. I think if people are nice, I don't care what people believe. That's they should decide for themselves. But as long as they're nice, I don't have any problem with people. I learned it from TikTok. Like I didn't see it from the news. I opened TikTok on the day, and I was like, this person I followed was like, the Pope is dead. I was like, no way. Then I went in and Googled, and I was like, damn, the Pope is dead. I was like, what? That's This is weird because even though I know he was an old man and stuff, but I just didn't think like he would die anytime soon. But again, he was like 80 something, 70 something, I don't know. Like he was old. And that's, how life works. But yeah, that's all I want to say on that, at least. Also, I really like this drawing. I think this is one of the better ones. It's really cool. I really like all this like the nearly completely black parts of the drawing. They're really cool. And I think they give a great contrast effect. Like it makes much more contrast than just doing lines or something else, which is really great. Like, I really like that. Yeah. Can't wait to get paid. It's gonna become very soon, and then we're gonna have money for the camera, which is like, if my math is right, I'm gonna get my money from my taxes. Like I'm gonna get my payback from taxes, on the 25th, which probably means that I'll be buying a camera the 25th or the 26th or something like that. Don't quote me on that to be sure. Yeah, but something like that, which would be cool. The only thing that's not cool is it changes some things about the way I do art, which is fine. That's how it is. It definitely changes to how I record. And that's gonna be the most like different part. If I just record with my phone and I can use this little microphone thing, it's much easier. But when I have to do it like that, every voiceover I want to do, I have to do it on a computer, which is not the biggest problem in the world. But if I can't do it in my own room, it's gonna be a little bit sad and not great. But I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Which, but I think the quality will be better and the focus will be better, and just I think my willingness to use it, to talk to it will be better. That will be like great, or at least greater. Maybe. Also, I will also have to paint. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna paint. I have to paint. I just have to create something, because I feel like I haven't created stuff in a while, and I was like, I actually kind of gotta make something for once, which is weird, but that's what I have to do. Gotta do something. Yeah. I don't know. I hope you guys are having a nice day. My day is pretty nice. Very weird, but nice. Yeah. I just want to say, thank you, because 822 subscribers, that's a lot. Like that's actually an insane amount of people. And we're getting closer to 850, which means we're getting closer to 900 and so on and so forth, which would be so cool. It would be really nice. I think at the rate of which things are going, I'll probably be at around 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I think so. And I really hope so, to be sure. But that depends. It's really nice. I have to keep making videos. And I really like this, making a video every day that I have time to do so. Which is also nice. It works greatly with these simpler drawings and simpler, smaller things. That's still great with that. I still think there's a decent video here, because most of my videos aren't really about, they are about the art. The art is a part of it, but the art is just closer to be B-roll on my nearly personal podcast where I just talk to myself. I tell you guys stuff, which is also pretty weird, but I know. It's a lot of it's a lot like a podcast, but also very different. And hopefully the microphone works this time, because it didn't work the first time. So I've been talking to this, phone and stuff for nearly 40 minutes at this point, which is fine. It's just not that great. So it's not the best thing, funniest thing to do in the world, but it's fine. I don't know if my brother is sleeping or if he's just watching a movie, but he's insanely quiet. Like, I'm sitting downstairs at my in my parents' couch in their living room, which is nice place to be. At least it's better than staying outside my car or going outside in the garage to do the voiceover. And that's the thing. I just wanted to be able to do the voiceover in my bedroom, and there's no problem. And that's all I'm asking for. Just that I don't have to move anything. It's not that much worse. The only thing that's worse is I can't really see what I'm doing. But to be completely honest, the amount of times where I actually talk about what I'm doing on the paper or on the canvas or whatever I'm doing, I'm not really talking that much about what I'm doing in the video, but I'm talking about what I've done in my life, or what's happening in my life, which I like much more. Personally. Yeah. I'm getting very close to the end here. I really like this one. I will do more like solid black. It worked super great on this one. I think the nose ring too is really well made. I like that. I think it's really expressive, and it gives kind of off this light, because it's so much surrounded by so much dark. So it's kind of like lights up the midsection of the face, kind of, if it makes sense. At least that's what I think. Yeah. Yeah. We're almost done with the painting, which is not a painting. We're almost done with the drawing, and I just want to say thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, because I really appreciate every time you do. It means the world to me, especially the comments. I love reading the comments. It's one of the most fun things about this. Thinking about it, one person just took time out their day to comment on some random YouTube video. That's pretty cool. Either way, bye-bye.